Some critics tonight slamming Israel after the deaths of 5 Al Jazeera journalists, who the network says were killed in a targeted airstrike in Gaza in just the last 24 hours. The IDF says one of the people killed was a Hamas leader posing as a journalist. It's all happening as even a group of more than 600 retired members of the Israeli military are now calling for an immediate end to the war in Gaza. But the Israeli prime minister appears defiant in the face of outrage over his plan to take control of Gaza City and hand it over to Arab forces. Now, it is very unlikely that Arab states would go for this. But the prime minister is suggesting is reigniting some criticism inside the enclave that Arab nations are not doing enough to help Palestinians now. Daniele Hamamdjian has more in tonight's breakdown. And we should warn you, some of what you're about to see is disturbing.
Palestinians say it is the ultimate betrayal. Why aren't Arabs helping us? They've cried over and over again. Arabs, do something. Help us. 22 months and counting. Palestinians are helpless as their emaciated children grow weaker and as the number of dead by starvation grows higher. Arab countries have parachuted aid and sent food, but Palestinians say it is a drop in an ocean of hunger. Arab countries have also sharply rebuked Israel's conduct in Gaza. For example, Egypt calling fresh plans to occupy the territory extremely dangerous, and the UAE warning of catastrophic consequences. But the loudest nations sounding the alarm over the course of the conflict, the likes of Ireland and Spain, along with Latin countries, and South Africa even taking Israel to the UN's top court. Gaza's Muslim Arab neighbors have talked tough, but that's where it ends, acting more as mediators in the so far futile peace negotiations.
Palestinians have been screaming into the cameras. Where are the Arab countries?
The Arabs are nowhere to be seen. The Arabs, and I'm talking about the Arab rulers, have buried their heads in the sand.
Fawaz Gerges is a professor of international relations at the London School of Economics. He says that while the Arab public is strongly pro-Palestinian, Arab leaders, heavily reliant on American aid and security, are wary of antagonizing the U.S. and its close ally, Israel.
This explains the subservience of Arab governments to American foreign policy. There is a big divide now between the Arab ruling elites and Arab public opinion.
That divide, he says, is further fueling discontent among Arabs against their largely unelected leaders.
Palestine reminds Arabs that their governments are not independent. Their governments are not sovereign. Sovereignty in the Arab world is a myth.
Some Arab governments are clearly worried, even though the majority of Jordanians are of Palestinian descent, including the Queen. The state has cracked down on pro-Palestinian protests and arrested activists, rights groups say. The government citing security concerns. Egypt has also carried out arrests and violently dispersed protests, according to rights groups, the government there citing anti-terror laws. And Gulf states have largely maintained diplomatic and trade ties with Israel, even while other countries discuss sanctions.
Not a single Arab state that has relations with Israel has cut relations with Israel, although other states in other parts of the world have.
The United Arab Emirates and Bahrain are among the Arab countries that signed accords recognizing Israel in 2020, joining Egypt and Jordan. Saudi Arabia was on track to do the same before Hamas attacked southern Israel on October 7, 2023, triggering a devastating counteroffensive. Hamas is allied with Iran, a sworn enemy of Israel and a rival of some Gulf countries. U.S. forces in the region help protect those nations and Israel.
Those regimes in the Arab world that depend on the U.S. for their security, they don't depend on their legitimacy vis-a-vis their own people.
Ryan Crocker, former U.S. ambassador to several Arab states, says that while Iran may be a menace, the region's rulers may also see Palestinians as a danger.
Palestinians, both the cause and the population, have both been seen as a threat to the rule of these Arab regimes.
Already struggling economically, Jordan and Egypt have explicitly ruled out taking in Palestinian refugees, suspecting Israel will never allow them to return home. They also fear they'll appear complicit in far-right Israeli calls to clear Gaza of Palestinians, a plan critics say amounts to ethnic cleansing. Just how worried are they? These Palestinian children treated for injuries and diseases in Jordanian hospitals were sent back to war-torn Gaza, their families in disbelief. I was shocked when I learned that my daughter would return to Gaza, one mother said.
Guerrillas destroyed the planes.
And there's the potential for turmoil on Arab soil. What if Palestinian refugees turn to militancy as they have in the past? Palestinian fighters have used Arab countries as a base from which to attack Israel. In 1970, they even fought a civil war against Jordan's military.
Arab regimes do whatever is necessary to see that the Palestinians don't gain a foothold in their country.
But as anger in the Arab world mounts,
Isn't that angering the population even more, silencing them?
Absolutely.
suppression might not always ensure security.
The tragedy of Gaza, the destruction of Gaza, could really serve as a time bomb that implodes the Arab political order from within.
A tragedy that, for now, Gazans are facing alone. Daniele Hamamdjian, NBC News.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.